Hi there, bonsai lovers. Welcome to Rather Bonsai and Cacti again. In this week's episode, we're going to dig out this little Yamadori tree. As you can see here, it's growing on a piece of land right next to a farmer's land, and those farmers have to maintain the trees because otherwise they will damage the trees or grow on top of a lot of land, so they have less and less and less land every time. So they were very happy to allow me to dig it out. As you can see, I label this as soon as I see a tree which interests me. Um, I labeled this one also, but that's the subject for another movie. As you can see, the the bottom part of the trunk is rather nice, thick and old, um, but somebody cut it off or it got snapped off, I don't know, and it grew new branches. So let me try to get this out and I will come back to you later. So here's everything prepared to make the rest of the movie, the video. This is the tree, Hawthorne tree. As you see, very little fine roots. So, but I still hope that the tree will make it. Let me put it in a pot and see what we're going to make out of it. So, this is the pot. I chose a bonsai training pot, and I didn't cut any of the branches. I want to do it together with you. This is the tree, and I think this would make a very nice front. So I'm going to put that front in. I have to be a little bit careful because of the thorns. It's too deep, so we need to put a little bit more soil there. So here we are. We need a little bit more soil. I have to say this is reused soil. I had a tree where I was a little bit too enthusiastic when I cut the roots. So it died on me. So I want to put it at a slight angle. I don't think you can see that yet, but I will show you later. These roots can go later there. This is always a little bit tricky if you are alone. But we will manage. So, for this work, binding the roots inside the pot, I always use a coated electrician wire. Because, well, I like to use it. That's the reason. It's, well, it's not stiff to use, um, so it bends easily. And um, cut some of that off so I can apply this with a little bit more ease. Although it seems like I dug out the tree and then started planting it, this is not the truth, because I let it sit in a bucket of water for 2 days. So I often do this when I Yamadori a tree, because of I like to do that. Um, it can take up some water, and now it's cold weather, so I don't know, maybe it wasn't necessary, but I still did that. Now, like I said to you, um, those thick roots would make a very nice um, nabari. But for now, I'm going to plant them a little bit more deep, because I want this tree to survive, of course. So I think it's better to bury it a little bit more deep now. You see, I'm not very careful about the roots, to spread out the roots in a nice radial position. No, I need those roots to help to survive the tree. This I'm going to cut off. It's way too high and it didn't have any feeder roots. This is, as I said, reused soil. And why? Well, it's nice and wet, and it wasn't long in the pot. So it wasn't long in the pot, so I think I can use it again. The main issue being, as I said, it's wet, nice and wet, and I hope this helps the tree to survive. Maybe it needs a little bit more substrate on the top, but I can do this later. I'm going to water it in anyway, even though the substrate is wet. I'm still going to water it in. So the big roots, which I want to help make the nabari, or which I want to use to show the nabari. It's a very nice nabari, I think, but they are now mostly buried underneath the substrate, and I will leave it like that for 1 year. So, in the hope that those small feeder roots survive and that there will be growing more feeder roots. And then in 1 year, if the tree does very well, I can take a little bit of soil from the top to show the body. So, well, this is how it looks now. You see, yeah, you can see quite nicely. I'm going to shift the focus a little bit more for here, so you see a bit more from the top, because I have to do something about those branches. This is of course way too much for the tree to survive, so I'm going to try and take some of those branches. Well, what I would like to do, but I don't know if I will be able to do this very nicely, but I would like to make a sort of broom style. And normally a broom style, the branches all start at the top. And we have some branches at the top, but um, we have some branches at the top, but yeah, maybe not entirely enough, and I need to use a few of those lower roots. I don't know yet. Let me try and see. This is one of those roots, and this is one of those roots. So I always like to mark the front of a tree, and let me do that. So this is the front. You can see that. This is the front. Maybe not the best spot to show this in a pot. The tree had to be moved a little bit more for the right and maybe a little bit in an angle, but let's face it, what we want to do first is get the tree to survive. If you look at the back, here is the wound of the tree. This is the front. In future, if the tree survives, I can try and carve this a little bit better, maybe, but let's try and see if we can get the tree to survive first. Yeah, this is definitely the front. So, well, this branch broke, doesn't do anything. So let's take that branch. Well, first I wanted to say, but it's a little bit at a funny angle. Yeah. We're going to take some of the other branches and then later take that one. It's a little bit more easy to reach. A broom style, in a broom style, the branches grow up like here, and then give ramification. Um, so we have to work a little bit on that. Um, Branches like this, we can bend them up a bit, so this is not the biggest problem. this one. Let me see what we are going to do. This is the front. So the branches at the front, this one, this one, this one, probably this one too, I think need to go because of the view. At the same time, we want a formal upright, so maybe we should keep them for now. Here we have some ramifications, so let's uh, let's see if we can use this already. I don't know. Maybe it's the branch is too long, and then we will see. Um, but for now, let's do it like this. Yeah, I think this one seriously needs to go. It's right in your face, and I think this one needs to go too. Have to clean that one up later, but needs to go too. This one has a very nice growth to the top, and I mean, we could use this. We could say this is already. Let me see if you can see this. We could say we could use this and say this is already being ramified, but this is not. It's too high. The ramification has to build up more in more low to the trunk. So let me see. Let's take that. This one also. This one is broken, but we can. I'm going to cut them first at the right size, and then make a decision which one we are going to keep and if I have to wire it up a bit or not. Let's going to put those things in a bucket. Those branches I cut off, those pieces, because of the thorns. Then I don't need to handle them for a second time. I think this is a very nice size, not too long. This is very nice. This one we're going to cut here because we can wire, if necessary, those little ones up. Although, I don't know. Let's wait. This is the front we said. This one we can wire up. So we can already use this to start a ramification. When it's broken. So we can take it. This one is the one which is broken, so we don't need to do anything about that. This then can go up a bit. Already has some start of ramification, and then we have to decide what we are going to do with the big ones. the thick ones in the back. This one and this one. This one already shows some branching, and I think we're going to cut it here. So we're going to cut it there, and then those long ones will have to be cut. Also, we can wire them up if necessary, but so and this long one doesn't really give ramification low enough. It starts with this one, but I think it's already too high. So let's cut it here. This one, cut it there. And then let me see. This is the front. It's pointing towards the camera now. So let's cut this one off. The one which is broken. So this looks better, I think. This one definitely needs to go up. And I think this one needs to go too. Yeah, this looks better, and this one will be wired up. Yeah. This one will be wired up. This one will be wired up. We can use the same wire for that to anchor. And then this needs to go up a little bit too. I can do this now, the wiring. I can do this after I see that the plant survived. The thing is, they are already rather thick branches, so if we wait until I know that the plant survived, the tree survived, then you never know, maybe they are getting too thick. So I think I'm going to get a few pieces of wire, and I will be right back with you. So I got a few pieces of wire, some reused wire, or already used wire, which I'm going to reuse, and some let's see. We want to put this one more up and this one. I have a nice thick piece of wire because I think they will not be easy to bend if I use thin wire. So making sure I'm not touching the parts where the tree can give more um, branching. It's thick wire, but as I said, I think it's going to be difficult otherwise to get the branches to stay in the position where I want them to stay. So we're going to use a bit more thick wire. So, a lot of people who have the bonsai channel, you see them cut these pieces. I'm a little bit greedy and I think leave this on. Doesn't look as fantastic, I know, but if you want to reuse the wire, it's more easy. Maybe you're going to think, but that branch is sticking up straight. Yes, it is. But this is what um, in a broom style is been done. So a little bit more up, and I have to be very honest. If I see this now, I think this one can go. It's thick and it gets sort of gets in the way of this branch, and we don't need both of them. Of course, if this branch I just wired dies on me, then um, this is going to be a very empty spot. But I'm going to cut it anyway. So I'm going to clean that up later. See, yeah, this one, it would be nice if this would be a little bit more for the back too, but maybe we can solve that without wire. Let me see what needs to be wired. I think this needs to be wired also. And if this one is going to be more for there, yeah, well, these more thin branches we can wire later after we see that the tree survived. This one I'm going to find a solution, but I think another solution, different kind of solution than you probably think I'm going to. This one needs to go down. Those two need to go up. This one needs to go a little bit more for the back. Do you see? This one needs to go up a bit, and this one needs to go up, and then a little bit more for the back. At least that's what I am thinking. You see? It's funny, isn't it? That some of those branches we wire to get them more down, like this one, and some we wire to get them more up. Funny, but this is the way bonsai works, isn't it, folks? Oh, so let us see if we can. We said this one needed to go more up and for the back. That's very nice. Let me see the front. Yeah, and then this one needs to go up a bit. I think like that. Let me take a look. Yeah, yes, definitely. The only thing I think about now is this one. This one is too long, so we need to reduce it a bit. We can use this one, probably. Let me take this off first and see. Yeah, I think it's still too long because we wanted to spread out a bit more um, close to here. So let me see. Yeah, yeah, I think this is nice. This one needs to go down a bit. Okay, I think these are too long also. I'm sorry if you couldn't see. Yeah, okay. Let me get some stuff I need, and then I will come back to you. So I'm back. First, let's clean a few of those wounds a bit. This is the biggest one. it's a bit of a knob, so we need to cut more than I would like to do, but if we do this now, the tree will only have this stress one time. Yeah, I think that's sort of okay. So, first this one. Into the little hole, take a piece of wire, and I need to look at the front. I think this will do the trick. You see? And after 1 year, probably this will bounce back a little bit, and then we are in the yeah. Here I made this device in hope that it will fit. So maybe it needs to go a little bit more like this. I know it looks crazy, but the branch is so thick that it probably is very difficult to get it to stay like that if I use wire. And if I use a piece of wire like I did here, I think the, 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 the force of the tree will be too strong and it will just lift this. This one, I have to be very honest, I'm not even sure it will stay like this. Oh, it stays. Probably the bark will damage a little bit, but it's the way it is. And these small ones we can wire up next year when they start growing. So let me take a little look at what we did. Yeah, I think this needs to go a bit more for there because this is the front. Yeah, I think this is better. Maybe in time I will look at this, but maybe it will be better if I take part of this and this. But what I want to do is hopefully we get some ramification more further down, and then I can take top parts of. Let's see if this works or not. Now the last bit, and the last bit is this. Some cut paste on the thicker branches. So the tree won't dry out. I'm not going to do all of them. Those little ones, it's not necessary, but big cuts like this, it's probably for the best to do it. And we have the stuff, so why not use it? Huh? If it helps the tree, I'm not too afraid about. Some people talk about bacteria and stuff like that. I'm not too afraid about that, but you never know if the tree dries out, and that's something we don't want to happen. Let's face it, we do a lot of work on those trees. And yes, of course, we do it because we enjoy doing this. It's a beautiful hobby. But if we do the work, we have to try and protect the trees so they have the best chance of surviving. At least, that's my opinion. So, I think there's one left. This one. So, let's turn it around. Okay, two more. One is here. Even more than two, I see this now. It's good I turn it around a bit. So this is a rather big wound. So if it would have been a tree which had a healthy root systems and wasn't a Yamadori, I would not have bothered with the cut paste on these wounds because a healthy tree with a healthy root system can survive those cuts no problem. But because this is a Yamadori with only few roots, I think we have to work a little bit extra to make sure the tree survives. Yeah, I think we are finished here. Maybe this one is. See, yeah, that one is damaged a bit, and because I think we need it, I'm going to put some cut paste on it. I don't know if you see, but at the bottom there's a bit of a damage. Um, so we are going to put this a bit like this. I had quite some good successes with this branches which are half cut. Put some cut paste on the cut like this, and I have to say up until now all branches survived. As I said, I'm not sure about the length of some of these branches. The way I look at it now, probably this one, this one, this one, and the tall one in the back need to be cut a little bit more low. But I want to see first how the tree does, if the tree survives. And then we are going to, no, as I talk, I think, no, Michelle, this one is definitely too long. I'm going to cut it here. So we need to apply new cut paste, but doesn't matter. And this one, also is way, way, way too long. So cut there. New cut paste. So you see, if you look a little bit longer at a tree, that you can change your mind or can look at what you did a bit better. And it's just okay. You know, you can change your mind, it doesn't matter. maybe maybe in time I'm going to think, this tree needs to be cut a bit or shortened a bit or something like this. Probably. But for now, let me see. Yeah, probably in future this one can be cut even more low. It's almost too thick, in comparison to the trunk. This is almost too thick. So the best would be to cut it completely here, but then we don't have a lot of branches here in this side, and I would really like to have some balance. I mean, if you look at it on this side, we have some, we have less branches than this side anyway. I'm not saying that here we could not, on this side, we could not cut a few branches, especially if you look here, these two, they originate from the same spot. This probably will give some inverse taper. This one is thick enough, so maybe we could take that one off too. Let me see. Yeah, maybe we could cut that one off too. But at the same time, for now, let it be there. I'm going to leave it there and see how the tree does in early spring. As you see, by the way, I filled the pot up with a little bit more substrate. I'm going after I say bye to all of you. I'm going to water the tree in a bit more and hope the tree will survive. Well, this was it. This was it for now. This is the front for you. Let me turn it around a little bit slow so you can watch this Yamadori. I know the pieces of wood I use as a divider in the top. It doesn't look nice, but it does the trick. So, as I said, this is it for now. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.